How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Nice to have you with me on this Thursday morning. Inching closer and closer and closer to the end of the week. We're almost there, not quite, but we are almost there, and we got some things that we got to check out today. Big moves are happening on the SPY. We see a push to the upside early when the market opens up, then all of a sudden we see a decrease in price. So we're going to go and we're going to examine the positions held by the institutions, and we're going to take a look at what the banks are doing. We're going to take a look at what's happening on the charts, what indications we have, what's going on. Fed's cutting rates. There we go. Now we have it. There we have it. Okay. So we're going to go through all that. I got to shut this down. So we're going to go through that. We're going to go through the SPY. We're going to look at, most importantly, the weekly chart. The weekly chart is the one that is talking to us right now, okay? Weekly chart, really important. So we're going to examine the weekly chart. We're going to see what the institutions are doing. We're going to look at their positions leading up until this moment and try to figure out what's going on here. Are we going to get a strong rally, or is price going to drop? Okay. So first, let's start by examining the CFTC positions, shall we? Let me bring that up. Okay, let me just, here we go, and right here. Okay, there we go. Here it is. Isn't she a beauty? Those are all the positions there. Okay, those are the positions of the banks leading up to January 17. All right, now remember what we were looking at here in terms of the coloration that I placed around here. Okay, you see that? What does this mean? This was a bearish cycle. Okay, bearish cycle. Why was this dark red here? This was dark red because that was an accumulation phase. They were accumulating short positions here. That's what caused price to drop down to these lows. Okay, then you see how this is not dark red. Why? Because they were not accumulating, they were distributing. Okay, so they're taking profits on their short positions right down here. Now you see what's happening here. This latest area here, that's accumulating again. But do you notice how this whole time everything is in red? You see that? Everything is in red. Why? Because all this time the main focus has always been bearish. All right, we haven't seen any strong indication of bullishness. Okay, so let's stick with this for now. Let's just follow along the storyline and see where this takes us. So this whole phase have been bearish, the market, okay? And this latest bit here, this latest bit, that's an indication that they're accumulating shorts again, all right? And how do we know that? Well, look, we could just look at the positions, okay? Look at the non-commercials. Look at that, from December 27th, 83,000, 85, 91, 97. Do you see a pattern here? Increasing shorts. Okay, now at the same time, look at that, a slight increase in longs, which could be the results of which could be the reason why we're getting the rally up in price. But overall, if you take a look at the long column, what's the one thing that you can see that sticks out? I mean, it's pretty evident, right? Blue cooled off. Blue, when the cells turn blue, that's an indication that the institution's positions, the long positions, are cooled off, meaning they're not focusing on them. Okay, if they're not focusing on them, then that means we shouldn't be focusing on them. So the focus has been on shorts, and they have been accumulating over the last several weeks. All right, this is what we know has been taking place up until January 17. Okay, important information. All right, so So here's what's taking place here. So on the weekly chart, we have this really nice descending trend line here. Okay. Price came up, tested it. We had a spike through it, and then the drop because the institution's increasing short positions. Okay. Now it comes back up, and now it's testing this institutional trend line. Why do I say institutional trend line? Because it's a trend line created. Who do you think caused price to drop down here and do this and do that and this and that? Okay, it's not me and you. All right, it's the institutions that are doing this. So that's an institutional trend line. Why would they create a trend line like this? There's a reason. And when price is coming back up here, there may be retail traders that are thinking, oh, it's, you know, the underside of a descending trend line. Maybe we should be selling. So that is where we're at right now. There's going to be a battle between the institutions and what positions they're going to place and what the retail traders are going to be doing. All right. There's, you know, some indications that right now retail traders are shorting. And because of that, we could get the banks to push price upwards. Now, this chart was a screenshot before this week began. So we had a basin candle there at that descending trend line. Okay. But if we take a look now at what's happening on the charts, this is what we have at this descending trend line. Okay. Look at that candle. That's a bullish candle. Very bullish. So remember, we've talked about this before. Let me zoom back. When we're looking for momentum, look at price action right here, okay? It was moving this way. For it to shift momentum, it needs to go into a neutral territory. All right. Neutral and then maybe sideways before something else happens. What's key to me is this candle right here and how it closes. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, so we still have one more day. If this candle closes up here, particularly above this wick right here, you see that wick right there? If this candle closes above that, to me, that's a bullish signal. I think everybody can agree with that because we'll have a descending trend line. We'll have price coming up into that descending trend line. Most likely retail traders shorting because of the trend line and the banks pushing price up. I think that is, you know, I think there's a high probability of that taking place right now. Okay. So the only thing that's stopping price right now is this here. Okay, you see this here? This is a selling area here. We got a lot of selling pressure happening here. So, one of two things can happen, all right? Here's the signal. Now watch very closely because you can listen to all the so-called experts on TV and hear what everybody's saying about the markets, about GDP and earnings and all that stuff. None of that is important. What's important is what I'm about to tell you right now. Okay? If this 4,099 area gets taken out this week, price is going to go much higher. Okay? Because that's what's setting up on the weekly chart. If this area holds and causes a decline, let's say we get price to drop to maybe here by the end of trading day today. If it continues to go down like this tomorrow, then this is extremely good news for a move lower, okay? Because what's going to happen is this area, this selling area that we have located on the chart, could help to facilitate a move back down from this candle potentially closing up here to closing over here, all right? And that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference in whether or not price is going to eventually head higher or maybe sit and drop. Okay, so that's what we're watching in terms of the S&P right now. Any questions on that? If you have any questions, let me know. Let me see the chat box. Love your channel, updates in psychology and view on life, dude. Thanks, my friend. Experience, appreciate it. How's it going? Great day, Magic Trader. All right. Any questions on that? Okay, we could look at the Nasdaq. Look at the Nasdaq weekly chart. See what's going on here? Supply forces here. Demand forces down here. What does that mean? That means we'll have buying pressure from down here and selling pressure from up here. Okay? So where are we at with price? Near demand or near supply? It's quite evident what's going on here, right? We're near supply. So likelihood pressure to the downside? Yeah, I'd say so. I say so. Are we hitting a trend line? Yeah, we are. Does that mean anything? I think so. I think so. So selling pressure is quite evident here. We also have supply that came into play here on the monthly chart of the Nasdaq. So we got that. Dow Jones. What do we have going on with the Dow Jones? The Dow Jones is the one that's a little bit different. We came down and we dropped into a buying area here on the weekly chart. So we've had some bullish pressure, okay? But the last area that has been contacted is this selling area here on the daily chart. And as you can see, we got the selling pressure coming into play, okay? So this week is pivotal, a pivotal week, okay? I mentioned it earlier this week. I also mentioned it last week. I said this week is going to, last week I said next week is going to be huge, which is this week. And this is the reason why, okay? Because we are right at that junction, and it's comes down to whether or not the banks are going to show their cards and push price to the upside, or if they're going to hold the trend line and push it to the downside. This push up could be them trying to lure in retail traders to go in long. That's a possibility as well. Okay, that's a possibility. Tesla, we'll take a quick look at Tesla. Remember I told you a lot of shorts are going to get caught? You know why I said that? You see this demand area that we drew? You see the power of supply and demand? I mean, could you get more accurate than that? Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. When price was contacting that demand area, I said shorts are going to be caught because we had this big drop, a lot of negative talk about Tesla, and then it caught this area. And as retail traders were selling, guess who was buying? The banks. And now look where we're at. We went from $101 to $157 in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Okay? Look at that. The power of supply and demand. It's unbelievable. Questions, let's see. So if technicals, so it is technicals over caught report. No, I use both. I do both. They tell a story. Okay? The CFTC report is very good at telling you a wonderful story of what's going on. It takes time for the institutions to accumulate a position, right? They can't do it very quickly. So we get to see over the longer period of time, what are they up to? You know, sometimes technicals can become a little bit confusing, you know, like the charts can be a little bit, not confusing, but unclear. We can look at the charts, we can see lack of trends, we can see lack of proper structure, and we don't have a clear direction on price. But CFTC reports don't lie, all right? We can see them accumulating positions over a longer period of time. And they're not just going to shift their positions overnight. You know, if they're accumulating a long position, it's going to take multiple months to do that. So we can see very clearly what they're doing. And so it's like being able to see through the fog, all right? When you have a clear picture of what's going on, there's a bias of what to expect from price. So if the chart patterns aren't very clear of what direction price is likely going to take, we use that as an indicator. Okay. eBay is the hot stock for me. Okay. It's a beauty. We have institutional buying coming into play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see that? This is institutional buying taking place here. Okay. I mentioned this to members quite some time ago, that this is going to be a nice long trade. I actually missed it because I've been so focused on so many other markets and just running the school that I missed this trade. But I hope some of you did manage to take it. And look at that, from $40 to $48 right now. You know what you could have done with options? Oh boy, you could have made a nice killing on that one. So it's unfortunate I missed it. Very, very unfortunate. Let's take a look here. I'd love to just take a look here. So it was 40. I would have, I have targets at 55. So 40, 45, 50 would have been strike prices. And I would have been probably about 6 months out, like July. Let's take a look here. March, April, and July. 45, and this was December 19. December 19, 45 put calls. I mean 45. Let's see. Oh, very low liquidity on that one. Very low liquidity. Let's see then. January 2024, 45. Let's see. This one better. December 19, 20, 21. Looks like it was going for about $4.50. Double your money. It's at $8.95 now. Mamma mia. There you go. Double your money, brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? I mean, can't believe I missed it. It was right there, right in front of my face. I mentioned it, took my eyes off of it, got carried away with running the school and doing classes. It just goes to show the power of what we do here. You know, if all I did was trade and nothing else, my results would be so much greater than what they are. I already have nice positive results, but oh gosh, they'd be so much greater than what they are today. But I have responsibilities to you guys. I'm here to teach you. I've learned the markets. I've learned a system. I've learned a strategy. I've created concepts and principles that work consistently regardless of market conditions. You know, I got into a trade yesterday. I knew exactly the signs to look for, whether it was going to work or not. You know, one contract, I was risking $50, but I could have made $1,200 to $1,500 on the trade if it panned out. It turned out it didn't. I lost $50. Whoop-de-doo. But you know how many times I actually make money on such small risk but big reward? And that's what it comes down to, is understanding the markets, the dynamics, and the supply and demand of the banks. So, I mean, this is just a wonderful example, just a wonderful example. And there's a ton of other trades that we're looking at right now and that I'm in right now. And I've posted those in the forum for members. If you are a member of the school, I did send a video up on the right here. You guys have to check it out regarding forum notifications. If you're not getting email notifications, go to the category. Just make sure that you are following it. Okay, if you are following it but you're not getting the notifications, click the 3 buttons, click unfollow, and then follow again. I think there was a little glitch at some point that caused it to stop working for some people. Okay, ladies and gents, let's see. I'll wrap up. I'll look at your questions. I think 20 minutes was a good amount of time. Pound and gold, please, when you get a chance. I'll take a look at gold really quickly. Gold is responding to supply. Okay, this is institutional supply. we're in a bullish phase right now. This is why we have this in green. Okay, there's a bullish cycle right now. Okay, it was aggressive up here. If we take a look at positions, let me see. Let's go to gold, gold. Here we go. Gold, long, aggressive, okay? And that was up into, what day was that? January 17, which is to include here. So let me just adjust this like that, okay? So we're in a bullish cycle, in an accumulation phase. So they were accumulating long positions, okay? Accumulating longs. We're getting aggressive with their positions right now. 256,000. Yes, it could be even more aggressive, but we have a supply area here, okay? This is institutional supply that's coming into play. That's why we're seeing this downward pressure. Now, we could see over the next few weeks this, okay? Because this supply is a midterm supply. So over the medium term, we would expect pressure to the downside. Now, can something come in live time and disrupt that? The answer is yes. Okay, it could. But if nothing comes in live time, then the expected move would be somewhere down to the 1800s. Okay, that's what would be expected, 1800s. All right, but I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see what the banks are going to do in 2 weeks or 3 weeks as price is traveling down towards the 1800s. They could come in live time and disrupt this pressure to the downside and come in with some new buying. But in terms of what I'm seeing with gold, I see a supply area coming into play, and the pressure is to the downside. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with that. Nat gas, you see the drop on that? Look at that. Remember I told you if $4 gets taken out, away she goes? Yeah, that's what we're getting in right now. We're getting that drop. Okay, let's read the rest of your questions. If price heads higher, do we go to expect daily momentum shift off monthly supply? You talking about the SPY, my friend? Is that what you're talking about? I have to take a look at that again. Off monthly supply. If it goes higher, I'm not doing anything at this point. Let's just put it like that, okay? I wouldn't want to touch it right now. There's no way I want to do that. Let's just let it do its thing. Let's see how this week plays out. And if it heads higher, I mean, the next big obstacle obviously would be that monthly supply zone, okay? But we also have weekly supply. There's a lot of supply zones that would have to be broken through before any real momentum, okay? So I wouldn't be looking and focusing on the daily chart if price starts to break up to the upside. The chart to watch, okay? The chart to watch, my friends, is this one. Weekly chart, okay? That's the one you want to be focused on. Don't worry about everything else. Don't look at smaller time frame charts. This is the chart. Just watch this chart, see what it does, because that's the chart that the institutions are focusing on, all right? There's always different time frames that are in play, and it's always key. I always mention this to my members and students. It's always key to understand what chart is in play, and it's the weekly chart that's in play right now on the SPY, all right? So weekly chart means it's going to take weeks for things to be produced. All right, so be patient. Look at that selling coming into play now from that supply. You see what I'm talking about, guys? See what I'm talking about? See that pressure coming in? All right, let's see who else we got. If price heads, okay, how would you relate the SPY to how gold is behaving on the chart? How would I relate them? What do you mean by that? I'm not quite sure. If you could just clarify for me, please. Sir, can we take a look at oil afterwards? Nothing's going on with oil. Okay, like in terms of tradability, for me, nothing's going on with oil. We got institutional buying coming into play here at the 75 area, but how long it's going to last, very difficult to tell because we don't have any trends. We don't have anything special like that. So I'm not really focusing on oil right now. Okay, what is this platform? TradingView. It's TradingView. Okay. And if you go to our website, whiteoakfx.com, or even there's a link in the description of this YouTube page and this YouTube video, where you can get a discount if you use my code. Okay, use my link and you can get a discount at TradingView. SPY options chain data shows heavy resistance at 40.50. Yeah, 41 level. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, heavy call riders on next month. Heavy call riders. That's interesting. That's great information. Great information. Rajatat tat. How do I say that? Rajat Jizzer. Rajat Jizzer? What? Oh boy. Good information. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. So there's a lot of call writers. What does that mean? Well, you know, if you're selling call options, that means you're betting that price is going to drop. So that's good. If that's the big institutions coming in and writing call options, and then that's good. Selling a lot of call options. That's good. Can you look at the dollar when you get a chance? Dollar, let's go quickly at the dollar and then we'll wrap it up. The dollar has been weak. We're seeing a slight push to the upside now. But overall, we have serious institutional selling taking place at these highs here at the 112s. Okay? All right? Up here. This is a selling zone. All right? So what happened here, let's just show you. Look. So tracking the CFTC data, we knew that they were in an accumulation phase here. Okay? A bullish accumulation phase. And you see how price was climbing up here. Then we contacted an institutional selling area. What did I say? I posted in the Arujo report to members, exclusive information. I said, guys, this could be a really good area where they can take profits on their long positions. Okay? And so when we were looking at, let's see, the dollar, okay, they were aggressive with their long positions. All right? So they started closing them off, reducing them. You see the switch from reducing longs to increasing shorts. You see that? You see how it happens simultaneously? All right? So this is what happened. I called this before it even began. Contacted supply. The accumulation cycle finished. They started distributing all throughout this area. And lately, they've been accumulating a short. Now, does that mean that price is going to go straight down? No, it doesn't mean price is going to go straight down. But it's something to pay attention to because they are not focusing on their long positions right now. So whether you listen to the news and they're telling you the dollar may go up for this reason, interest rates, whatever, forget about that. Focus on what are the banks doing? Are they accumulating longs? Do they think that the dollar is going to go up? No. All right. So they're not buying longs. We don't buy longs. They're accumulating shorts. Okay. But here's the key thing. This is why this spreadsheet is so important. Okay. Because even though we know that they are accumulating shorts, look at the coloration of these cells here. Okay. Are they red? No, they're not. They're blue. What does that mean? Neutral. Neutral. At this stage, we should be neutral when it comes to the dollar. Is there a bias? Yes, there's a bias to the downside at this point. And the technicals are suggesting that too. Okay, so if there's anything I would say is wait on the sidelines, bearish bias, but let's wait for the technicals to really start to show us some trading opportunities to short the dollar. Okay, all right. Let's see. That's the last chart we'll take a look at. I've been on your Telegram group for months now. Loved your call on not gas. Thank you, sir. Gold long position, January 17. Yes, that's what I mean. There are heavy call riders at these two levels. At these two levels. Okay. Very good, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It was nice. It had been some time since we did a session together. Happy New Year. Even though we're almost done January. I think last time we did a live session was in December, wasn't it? Oh God, man, it's just been such a busy time for me. Busy time. Thank you for joining. I hope this was helpful. I'm sure you will find it helpful for your analysis. Remember everything that I said. Watch the session again. Key information. Don't get suckered into the trades that the banks want you to take. All right, ladies and gents, thank you. Have a good one. Love you all. Take care.